Hey everyone, welcome back to Frugal Elder. Today I'm sharing something that'll save you money and elevate your home cooking game. We're diving into the secrets of cooking restaurant-quality steak right in your own kitchen. If you're tired of spending big bucks at steakhouses or ending up with disappointing results at home, this video is for you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our money-saving tips and tricks. Let me start with a question that might hit close to home. You ever buy an expensive piece of steak, get excited about cooking it, and then it turns out kind of meh? Maybe it's chewy or dry, or just doesn't taste like what you get at a restaurant. Trust me, I've been there more times than I'd like to admit. Here's the good news, though. Cooking an amazing steak isn't about luck or having some fancy culinary degree. It really comes down to understanding 4 essential techniques. And honestly, that last one, most home cooks completely ignore it, but it's probably the biggest factor in whether your steak turns out juicy or disappointing. So stick with me here. By the time we're done, you'll know exactly how to nail a perfect steak every single time. First technique: choose your cut wisely. This is where a lot of people go wrong before they even turn on the stove. The secret to a great steak actually starts at the store or your local butcher. Think about how you actually like your steak cooked. This matters way more than most people realize because different cuts work better for different levels of doneness. Let's say you're someone who loves that pink, juicy center. Maybe you like rare or medium rare. What you want to look for is marbling. That's the white streaks of fat running through the meat. Don't shy away from it. That fat melts while cooking and basically bastes your steak from the inside out, keeping everything tender and flavorful. Ribeye, New York strip, or filet mignon are your best friends here. Now, if you prefer medium to medium well, where there's just a touch of pink or barely any, go for something like a classic sirloin. It's got solid beef flavor and great texture without needing tons of fat. And for those of you who like well-done steak, and hey, no judgment here, your best bet is actually a thinner cut, like skirt steak or flank steak. These cook quickly and won't turn into shoe leather if you use a good marinade or seasoning. The point is this: match the cut to how you're actually going to cook it. That decision alone will make or break your results. Second technique: use a meat thermometer. All right, you've got your steak. Now let's talk about the tool that changed my steak game completely. It's not some expensive pan or special seasoning blend. It's a simple digital meat thermometer. And I'm telling you, this is non-negotiable if you want consistent results. Think about how many times you've poked at a steak trying to guess if it's done, or cut into it too early and watched all those juices run out. We've all done it. But guessing is exactly why steaks turn out unpredictable. A meat thermometer takes all that guesswork away. Just stick the probe into the thickest part of the steak, making sure you're not hitting bone or a big chunk of fat, because that'll throw off your reading. Now here's the trick that professionals use. Pull your steak off the heat about 5 degrees Fahrenheit before it reaches your target temperature. Why? Because of something called carryover cooking. The steak keeps cooking even after you take it off the heat. Those internal temps will climb another 5 degrees or so while it sits. If you wait until it's perfect on the stove, it'll be overdone by the time you cut into it. So always remove it early. This one tip alone will level up your steak instantly. Third technique: master the sear. This is where we get that gorgeous brown crust that makes steakhouse steaks so irresistible. There's actual science behind this, something called the Maillard reaction. Basically, when meat hits really high heat, it creates hundreds of new flavor compounds. That's what gives you those deep, savory, almost caramelized notes that make your mouth water. So how do we make this happen at home? 3 simple rules. First, your pan needs to be ripping hot. I'm talking almost smoking. Cast iron is ideal here because it holds heat like nothing else. Preheat it for at least 5 minutes on medium-high to high heat. Second rule, don't crowd your pan. If you're cooking multiple steaks, give them space. When you overcrowd, the temperature drops, and instead of searing, you end up steaming the meat. That's how you get gray, sad-looking steaks. Third rule, listen for the sizzle. The moment that steak hits the pan, you should hear an aggressive, loud sizzle. That sound tells you everything's working right. No sizzle, your pan isn't hot enough. Get these 3 things right, and you'll have that professional-looking crust every time. Fourth technique, let it rest. And now we get to the technique that almost everyone skips. This is the difference between a good steak and a phenomenal one. After your steak comes off the heat, you need to let it rest. I know it's hard. It smells incredible, everyone's hungry, and your instinct is to slice right in. But if you do that, you're throwing away everything you just worked for. Here's why resting matters. When you cook a steak, the heat causes the muscle fibers to contract and squeeze all those delicious juices toward the center. If you cut into it immediately, all that liquid just pours out onto your cutting board. But when you let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes, those fibers relax. The juices redistribute evenly throughout the entire steak. So when you finally slice it, the moisture stays inside where it belongs. Every bite is tender and juicy instead of dry around the edges. Just leave it on a cutting board or plate. You can tent it loosely with foil if you're worried about it getting cold, but honestly, it'll still be plenty hot. This is genuinely the easiest step, but it requires patience. And I promise you, it makes a massive difference. So there you have it. 4 techniques that'll completely transform how you cook steak. Start by choosing the right cut, based on how you like it cooked. Use a meat thermometer and pull it off the heat early to account for carryover cooking. Get your pan screaming hot, and don't overcrowd it to create that perfect crust. And finally, exercise patience and let your steak rest before cutting. Master these 4 things, and you won't need to drop $50 at a steakhouse anymore. You can make restaurant-quality steak right at home for a fraction of the price. I hope this helps you save some money and enjoy better meals at home. That's what Frugal Elder is all about, living well without breaking the bank. If you try these techniques, drop a comment below and let me know how your steak turned out. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you catch all our future videos. Thanks for watching and happy cooking!